Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Aquarius, June 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel St. James, clairvoyant. Well, we have a great deck this month. Do you know that this deck was very generously given to me about 4 or 5 years ago, I think, and I've never used it. And then about 6 months ago, I think it was your planet of Saturn, which sort of came in and brought me back in line and said, look, you really should be looking at this because there's a lot of wisdom in here, there's a lot of originality to come from it, and it will unleash things which are very, which can be very humanitarian in nature, I suppose, but new, original, things that you are able to be, which you will appreciate because of your intellect, stuff that you can use to then communicate very intelligently to people in a simple way. Now, in the last month, I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for people from different countries around the world over FaceTime or Skype. And if you're interested to see what's involved in that, I don't really use any tarot in that. It's the spiritual gift of clairvoyance that's used. Then have a look at the information that's in the description at the end of the video. Now, I charge for those, I have to, but what I have also done over the course of the last month are a number of healings for people. Now, healings I offer for free. No obligation, no strings attached. It's because that gift was given to me at birth on the basis that you've got to go out and use this and you can get nothing in return for it because it's coming from being itself, using me as a sort of a fiber optic cable to the person that might be you, for example, where being wants to show its love and compassion and heal emotional hurt or psychological issues, physical things, as you know, in accordance with its will. Now, I don't know why I was chosen. Nothing particularly special about me. The healing comes through me and not from me. Now, as I say, nothing will be sold to you, nothing will be recommended to you. I'm not talking here to talk you into getting a reading from me or anything else like that. So don't be shy, reach out. I set time aside each day to perform healings, and so I'm very happy to do it, because doing that, well, I'm fulfilling my soul contract, and I want to make sure that I'm spiritually sound while I am here, and I have learned and done what I'm supposed to do, because I don't want to come back again, if that is the case. Now, we'll take 5 cards, shall we? Because 5's all we need, and because we don't just spend 5 seconds on a card, do we? Oh no! They're much more talkative to us, they're far more intelligent in your company, and so they have plenty to say and plenty to offer. And so, 5 it is, and show me the magic. King of Pentacles. The Hermit. Very interesting hermit there. Ace of Wands. What's this? 8 of Pentacles. King of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles. Very interesting. What's this finally? It is Page of Cups. Well, what a fascinating spread for you. I'll bring the camera around, okay, and you and I can have a good close look at the paintings on these cards, while the energy around them speaks to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. What a good month it looks like for you, particularly because of this central energy that's here in this Ace of Fire. And here we see a woman who may well be a wise woman, as I call them. In old days, they might have called her a witch, who is, with fire, bringing together all these things necessary to come into manifestation and to happen creatively, physically, emotionally for you. And she seems to be pretty good at her job, by the looks of it there. Well, this is the lady of the root of the power of fire. And I think there is going to be with you a very high and strong energy. It's a period, I think, after reflection, after you looking inside of yourself, where there's going to be some sort of an internal transformation where you might start looking at things as if through a new set of glasses. There's a creative spark coming up here, possibly a new project underway, maybe a new relationship underway, because I do see a passionate union here. And this could be, of course, in an existing relationship, or for those who are unattached, maybe coming in touch with someone who does help your life forces to surge. There's new start around here. There's something new coming here. Well, this ace, I suppose, is represented by this large cauldron underneath the fire. Well, this card, actually, this energy is really the highest energy card in the deck after the sun, I think. And this energy here is arising after all blocks have been removed. The vapors here, they go off in all directions, don't they? And this represents the power bursting from the flame that's coming from down from the absolute and into you. Aces are about potential. It's something that exists and it's coming. It's not yet with you, but it is coming. The seeds are coming down. The potential is being inserted into you. And all securities and certainties, perhaps, that you've been hanging on to may well become shaken under the charge of that energy which is now breaking through into your consciousness. Now, if all obstacles are out of the way, you will find that there is a renewal in all areas and levels of your life, because there is a revitalizing power that's filling your entire being with new light. Now, it is important for this energy to have a creative outlet, otherwise it can be turned in upon yourself. And you can use this energy only if you have a goal towards which you can direct it. And if you have a goal, you need to know what it is specifically. Write it down. Nothing abstract, but something completely concrete. Something that is in simple language in one sentence. Say, this is what I'm after, and then write down the steps to get it. Because the next step after releasing any blocks is to find the right framework to set this energy to work. Do you know, I really do think that this is a time when you are going to have a breakthrough, and you're going to have insight, and you're going to feel inspired and motivated to move your life forward. I do see opportunities opening up for you, and one of those opportunities, I think, is a large opportunity. Now, these things are often found in places that you least expect, and when you least expect to come across them. So be aware. But you do now have the possibility, because this is a potential, this is coming down here, to tap into your hidden potentials. And if anybody has a lot of potential and ability, it is you. And it's the perfect time to draw upon your imagination and make your dreams come true. This really is the primordial energy or pure consciousness of the divine manifesting into matter. And so it is important that you take advantage of this now to push yourself forward. This is a time when you are going to be full of power and energy, so engage fully in discovering where and how you can and want to use it. I will say this also, that I'm getting a lot of Cancer and Virgo and Leo around here, so they're likely to be important to you during the period or in connection with the activities that you start. Now, ask yourself this. What attracts you to doing it the most? What gives you the most pleasure? And in what framework can you realize your dreams? Say this to yourself now, because this is the time to do it, that I express my energy and power openly, and I am ready for the success that comes. Now, I think I just mentioned, did I, that there was actually going to be a time when you do get some self-reflection or thinking about how you can put into practice this energy which is now surging towards you. Here we have a hermit. And this woman sitting on a tree, holding what looks like a decaying flower in her right hand. She's become part of the tree, really. She's almost like one of the branches, isn't she? And look at this thing here. This is the mirror image of the real her, the real person with the light, the divine, showing you what your soul path is and helping you along. Now, I've told you, I think maybe if I haven't, this is it. You are not inside your body. Your body is inside of you. Anyway, she's reflecting to see what the future holds for her, I think. She is the prophetess of the eternal. She's the creatrix of the voice of power. There's a lot of Virgo around here being ruled by Mercury, with Mercury exalted. Very intellectual sort of a card. Well, that's right along and in your suit, isn't it? Because if anybody has a fine mind, you certainly do. And I think this is a time when you might be finding your own light by going inward. And you do complete a few things. I think you tie them off. It's also, I'm getting the feeling here of you reaping rewards. I've got the image of a harvest going on here. And you can rest in your own center and have some patience. And you're a very wise guide, so much so that I think you could actually be acting as a mentor to somebody else, or a counselor, giving them advice, listening to them, giving them suggestions. This could be on a personal basis, it could be related to emotions, it could be related to work. You are going to have a real love of acquiring information, but you're not going to be just like a database that just sucks in facts. But you're going to think about what these facts mean for you and your life and how you can make use of things. There is an illumination from within going on here, almost a divine inspiration as to the path ahead of you. A lot of wisdom with you now, a lot of wisdom. Now I do get Cancer, Leo and Virgo around here. This is interesting energy. You know, the way to understand it is to take advantage of the surge of energy that is coming from here, and because this energy is presenting you with the ability to face and overcome any challenge with strength and courage. And I think you do by going within, contemplating, thinking, brainstorming with yourself. See that there is a dawning of a new day of possibilities for you. Now, this energy is particularly saying that you should guard and luxuriate in your individuality and your originality as well. Now, there may be some people who don't understand you. Well, don't worry about that, because there are plenty of people who do. This is bringing a time for you to look in at yourself and providing you with an opportunity to develop your inner wisdom by seeking guidance from other people even, or just by listening to your heart. Perhaps even spiritual work, who knows?
I think there is here a time needed to be alone and to realign with your inner self and discover your spiritual self and how your spiritual beliefs are reflected in the outer world. And this is also, in a sense, saying that, look, just enjoy and appreciate the simple things in life. I think you can understand wealth in this context. See what you have and then subtract from that what you want. And if you do that, and if you can see that you may well be a billionaire, but if you subtract from your $1 billion what you want, you can find that the billionaire is actually broke. Live the good life. Now, let me look here at... You see, your emotions are going to be very romantic, I think, during this period, and love is going to radiate out from you. Let's have a look at this young woman who is sitting in a chat. Once a mermaid, by the looks of it. Yeah, it looks like a mermaid. See the tail there? A mermaid with two faces. So I'm kind of, well, two heads. I'm looking this direction. I'm looking in that direction. And there's the face of a skeleton coming down to her that is intimately speaking truth and words of love to her. The skeleton here is not scary at all, but it is, in a sense, a reminder of the timelessness of love. Now, as a princess, she's earth and she's in water. Scorpio, Sagittarius and Libra are around, I've got to say. Well, I see her as the daughter of the palace of the floods. There's emotional freedom with you now, and I think that there's a great trust in yourself. Because she is free, and she is not imprisoned by emotions at all. And she has great independence. She's cast off the bonds of possessiveness and manipulation, I think, and freed from jealousy. She's surrounded by grace and kindness and clarity, which is expressed by these sort of emerging gemstones there. Now, as the earthly part of water, esoterically, she says to me that she represents the process of crystallization. She represents the power of water to give substance to your ideas, as well as to support life. Because water and earth together, they provide the chemical combination that sustains life on earth. Now, her character is one of, and I think that you'll have this with you at this time, you're going to be infinitely gracious. There's almost a voluptuousness here, a gentleness, kindness, and tenderness. They're her characteristics. And in a sense, you might at times find that you are living in a world of romance. And along with that, this suggests to me, by interpreting this energy, that you might be bewitched. I think you're going to be bewitching, beautiful, as well as maybe dreamlike when it comes to matters of the heart. There's also a lot of glamour around here, so I think you're going to be very glamorous. Now, her nature is, in addition to those things I mentioned, it's sort of one of a soft longing, a yearning, that is the crystallization of love and beauty. And she can create a sort of a mirage and an illusion. Her creativity really flourishes from her inner powers of creation, which nourishes all of her desires. Now, you might find that and you might be unaware of, your powers of seduction. You'll be very enticing, and you'll be able to captivate your prey if you put your mind to it. But the prey will adore you with the same innocence that she has and worship you. Now, for some people, you might be the symbol of unrequited love, somebody who is untouchable, unattainable. Yet you're going to stir passion in others and stir their haunting longing. You'll have an irresistible beauty, and that's because of your transparency, your sweetness, and your inner exhilaration. You know, you are going to create your own beauty by your essential vigor and excitement, and it's going to radiate out from you. Now, you may well find, I think, that you'll be sensual and quite provocative. There's a lot of feelings of enchantment and seduction around here. Yet, you will retain your own freedom and love of life. But this is a time that you must trust your feelings and perceptions because you are on the right path. Is there anything preventing you from being fully free? Because you now have the opportunity to let go of it as well. Now imagine yourself as she is surrounded by water and you are looking at salvation and freedom with its light flowing movements, and say this to yourself because it is true: the more I love myself, the more beautiful I become to others, and the more I can share with others. So probably fasten your seatbelt in some respects. I think you're going to have a lot of opportunities your way, whether you take them up or not. Now, let's get down to more material things, which are here represented by this energy. And look at this woman, and this is coming through again, you see. Now, this red here, the woman, look, men basically find red on a woman irresistible. If you wear a red dress, they just go, ah, she is the queen of my desires. Anyway, she's sitting here. A number of things up there, these pentacles with this symbol on there, which is speaking of protection and balance. In fact, it looks like she's got compass things. You know those things that when we were children, we used them in geometry at school? I think she's drawing one of these things here on this floor, which is speaking about balance and harmony. And she is threading a tapestry, I suppose, patiently, of a face that's sitting there. What can I get from that? What does this mean? Well, what I do initially get is that where it's placed in the other energies around it, this is the sun ruling the first decan of Virgo. It's about the 23rd of August to the 2nd of September. And the number 8 here, I have a mystical association with Mercury as well. Now, numerologically here, I also find decision relating to you. You're going to make a decision, probably after doing a list of pros and cons. But with Mercury ruling that number 8, and Mercury ruling Virgo, Mercury is also exalted in Virgo, incidentally. It's very Virgo is intelligence. It brings intelligence from pure consciousness to you. It is the messenger of the gods. So this is very favorable for you because you would probably be the most intelligent of the zodiac signs. And I think what we're having here with the sun in Virgo, that the sun is energizing Virgo's hard work and attention to detail. So there is a real flowering going on with you now. There's a real blooming of internal and external richness. Wisdom is coming around again. A carefulness, perhaps, being prudent about things, quite cautious, and taking calculated risks. You might find that you're being very careful with money. Now, facts are going to be of interest to you, but not, as I say, as just bringing them in as a database. You want to then say, how do I turn this knowledge into something which is useful? And you'll have an attention to structure and detail around here, which probably, I'm thinking, may well relate to not just buildings, but can also relate to, shoes and fashion and hairstyles and makeup and all that sort of things. This is a time when you don't want to overextend yourself or underextend yourself, while you allow this energy, which you're thinking of here, to come in and then tell you what is the way forward. So there is patience needed here, and sometimes there's a benefit in doing nothing at all, just planting the seeds and letting them grow. Don't rush it. It's a long-term thing that you're underway here. But this is an encouragement to continue doing what you are doing, because it's going to lead to success. Now, those things that are coming to flower within you, they are exquisite. They are beautiful and delicate. So provide them the protection and the nourishment they need. You don't need to force anything, because these blooms are going to unfold at the proper time. And are you giving yourself protection and nourishment that you need? Just say to yourself, I relax and trust life. And then rather quickly, I'm afraid, because I'm aware of your time, we'll finish with this King of Pentacles, which is also fantastic for you. And the energy I'm getting around here is Virgo again and Leo. And this is Virgo, the earth, and Leo, which is ruled by the sun, enriching your earth. You will be good at healing yourself. This is about invoking the spirits of the earth. This is speaking of health and a feeling of material abundance. It's a harvest time for you, as I foreshadowed before. Now, the work that you've been doing has been well worth the effort, and particularly so if it's done in the service of personal growth, I should say. Now, if it's someone else, it could be someone who's got a connection with the land. That other person you might think is probably dull or uninteresting, funnily enough. But it's your work ethic which is going to get you to the fore now. Don't do anything left field just at the moment. Use your work ethic to get things through. Because now is the time to set your abilities to work, particularly also in the service of some kind. Now, I do know that there are some tasks ahead of you that are going to demand the use of all of your powers. But if you make the effort, this is saying that the harvest is going to reward you richly. Now, is there anything or tasks that you would like to avoid in life? Well, just relax. You have the cavalry holding your back, and say this, that with every task that comes my way comes also the energy needed to complete it. Well, you did a great job.
Well, I said that was an interesting deck, didn't I? And didn't you find it so? I think that this artwork on here is pretty good. Or, I think it's pretty good. I don't say that about a lot of tarot decks, but I enjoyed this, and it certainly spoke to me, and I'm sure it spoke to you as well. Anyway, unless I see you privately for a reading or for healing, then I'll see you again here in a month's time, next month. So, until I do see you again, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.